now. While supplies last, valid through 8/17.
With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement with Fast Signs. There are 1,000,001 possibilities to power your business visibility. Achieve more than you ever thought possible with Fast Signs.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
ESPN tennis analyst Mary Jo Fernandez.
I'm really impressed with how hard she's worked to try to finish on the best note possible. I mean, that was the best match we've seen her since starting her comeback at Wimbledon.
Easily.
Yes, she was much sharper. Her serve was firing. She had, I think, 9 aces in the match. Her movement got better.
NFL, the Browns added another quarterback, claimed Kellen Mond off waivers from the Vikings, according to ESPN's Field Yates. He gives the Browns a third QB on their active roster behind starter Jacoby Brissett and backup Joshua Dobbs, while Deshaun Watson serves his 11-game suspension for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the program, folks. It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Somebody tell him to stop saying that word so strangely.
You are in the Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. All you got to do is just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Jeremy doesn't like the way I say the word folks.
Folks. That's it sounds like you learned this language about 9 seconds ago every time you say that.
I'm just going to keep saying it, though, folks.
And then I pointed it out, and now he's just doing it to irritate me.
Of course I am. You made me listen to Creed bangers for the last hour.
Hey, you could have gotten it to stop at any time. All you had to do was say, why are you doing that?
It's true. It's true. Well, sometimes you just need a little Scott Stapp in your life, apparently.
But we have breaking news. This is a banger to start the show.
Right out the gate.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Folks.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
The great Jalen Reagor mistake is over.
Oh, thank goodness. I was wondering when that was going to happen.
The Philadelphia Eagles have traded former first-round draft pick Jalen Reagor to the Minnesota Vikings.
Awesome. So he gets to be the B.C. Johnson replacement.
I'm just shocked they got a conditional 4th-round pick for him.
That seems a little high.
That's a little high.
That's a little high, but, I mean, you know.
This has been an aggressive day for people that are just absolute punching bags for fan bases to get new teams. Jalen Reagor to the Vikings, Alex Leatherwood to the Bears.
Yeah.
You know, I was today years old when I learned something. You can take a direct inventory of how good your team is by how many players they claim on waivers. And if it's more than one from the Jets, you're in trouble. 32 players claimed on waivers. 7 of them were waived by my New York Jets.
6 of them got picked up by the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that's a bad sign. When they look at their 90-man roster and go, guys that were cut off other rosters, 6 of them are better than the bottom of ours. That's a bad sign.
Mm-hmm. Your little boyfriend, Sterling Weatherford, winds up as a Chicago Bear now.
Yeah. He wasn't particularly good. So
No. He wasn't particularly good. But, yeah, you got a lot of New York Jets winding up on other teams. And I don't know. I mean, are you taking that as a positive sign that, man, look how good we are at talent evaluation?
It makes me go, Joe Douglas is doing a good job, and everybody else not so much.
Javelin Guidry.
Oh, I'm not ready to talk about that one yet.
Chuma Edoga.
Oh, yeah, the Atlanta Falcons. Congratulations. If you're a Falcon fan and you went, who is Chuma Edoga? He has played about 80 snaps in his NFL career, and I have said just horrible things about him no less than 10 times. I mean, things that if my mother heard me say them at 35 years old, she would still yell at me.
Nice. You get your little pop in the mouth. Did your mom have the mom slap? No. She wasn't a violent.
I had a
mother.
wonderful childhood. I was very well loved.
Was she versed?
The anger came later.
Was she versed in the flip-flop beating?
No.
That was wow. I grew up with a mom that she would smack you with her flip-flop. I mean, she'd just throw it right off her foot, catch it, and flick the foot, catch it in one hand, and then swat you on the behind with it.
Yeah, I was a good kid. Which really makes you wonder, how did I end up like this?
Where did it go off the rails is what we're wondering. Delshawn Phillips. Never heard of that guy before.
Did he come from the Jets?
He did come from the Jets. Baltimore picked him up, so he's got to be good.
Oh, yeah, he'll probably turn into a Pro Bowler with Baltimore.
We had a lot of claims made on the waiver wire today around the NFL. We'll talk about all of the moves that have been made, what they mean for your team or teams in your division, whatever. Jeremy has put together his list of the 25 most overrated players in the NFL.
I will get 4 players into that before I have made somebody just blindingly angry.
More than likely, we'll do that in the 4 o'clock hour of the program. Today in the Daily Draft at the top of the 3rd hour of the program, worst owners in sports. Jeremy and I will be drafting the worst owners in sports.
Somebody in the YouTube comments threw that one out there yesterday when I went off about the Knicks. So,
do I get first pick today?
Yes, you do.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, pick one. It is decided. We'll also talk about college football as well as we're getting ready for week 1 tomorrow. Bangers. All at the end of every hour tomorrow.
There is one thing I can definitively actually 2 things I can definitively guarantee you. You will hear Road Dogg at some point tomorrow. And I will aggressively sing Country Roads.
Nice.
I cannot tell you where my pick on that's going to fall. Because my heart is telling me one thing. And my mind is telling me no. But my body is telling me yes.
Okay.
There is nothing that makes sense as to why I would pick West Virginia.
Only Jeremy Greene can make picking football games sound weird. Appreciate you making it weird.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little picking games.
Okay. All right. Very good.
That's what I bring to the program.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for you. I was shocked when I looked at the list of the pickups today around the NFL that my team didn't make any.
You shouldn't be.
Should you be concerned if your team just stands pat at this point?
No, that's actually a good thing. That means that the scrap heap of the rest of the league, they didn't look at that and go, hey, that makes our team better. If you're the Bears, you should be genuinely worried.
Okay.
There were 6 cast-offs that they went, yep, that's better than what we have. We got guys that should be working at the Home Depot. That would be unsettling.
Jacksonville made a lot of moves.
That surprised me. I actually liked the bottom of Jacksonville's roster. And then I see them make 5 waiver claims. Like, well, okay, new coach, I suppose.
Yeah.
Them and the New York Giants. That was the 3 teams that picked up 4 or more players.
Yep. New York Giants as well. So should you be jumping off a cliff?
No.
Because your team's adding practice squad players?
No. I mean, jumping off a cliff, no. It's just a really bad sign.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really, really bad sign.
I thought for sure Tampa was going to make some kind of move to get some offensive line help.
There's just not really any out there.
Yeah, not really.
I mean, Alex Leatherwood got picked up by the Bears, and they went, "Oh, we will love you and squeeze you and call you George. You will be ours forever." And they're paying him $5 million a year.
Yikes.
They pick up the deal. He was on waivers.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay. All right. Were there any moves that you saw that you went, damn, those were good pickups?
Of the waiver claims?
Because mine was Washington.
Which
Washington, both of them, both of their pickups from in the secondary, Tariq Castro Fields and Rashad Wildgoose. I mean, these are not like game-breaking players, but they're decent, developmental, young guys that they could use in the secondary.
Rashad Wildgoose, he was a Jet.
He was a Jet.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Seattle, Isaiah Dunn was a guy that we really believed in.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's in your secondary. It's for me. The winner of all winners to me is Houston. You get Tyler Johnson. Yeah. I don't quite know how he didn't make your roster, but I would argue he is now at worst the 3 in Houston. I could make an argument he's the 2.
Yeah, but
you believe in Nico Collins way more than I do.
It's not that I believe in him. It's just, he's fine.
And if you're Cleveland, we do not need Deshaun Watson suspended for the year because we have Kellen Mond.
That's right.
Who could not play a tree in a child's play.
Yeah, maybe they see something in him that he could be serviceable for 3 weeks.
He could not hit the broadside of a barn if you gave him all afternoon to do it. But that's just proof positive. If you're a quarterback in this league, you will get every opportunity humanly possible.
No doubt.
Josh Rosen. Still just bouncing around doing stuff.
Mm-hmm. So many guys that don't get playing time that bounce around to different teams. It just depends on what you bring to the locker room.
A couple things in our YouTube comments. Adam Black talking about the Laviska Shenault trade from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get the trade unless they don't believe in Marshall or Shi Smith. It's Terrace Marshall. That's the one that they have grand reservations about. Shi Smith, he's everything I told you he was. I genuinely think Terrace Marshall's the 5 in Carolina right now.
Okay.
And something that we need the House of Reprehensibles and the wonderful listeners of this program to help us with. Kevin Vick and I officially have the first torture ticket of the year.
All right. On the Browns game to start the season?
Did you hear that segment from the morning show this morning?
I did not.
Set the line. Cleveland Browns, Carolina Panthers, week 1 in Charlotte.
Cleveland minus 8.5.
You were wrong at Cleveland.
Stop.
It's Carolina minus 2.
That's ridiculous.
I saw that live and audibly laughed out loud and went, is this just a freebie? Are we playing free space on the wheel?
Apparently so.
So Kevin Vick chimed in and went, torture ticket, but we need to know what the torture is. We got the ticket.
Yeah.
We have suffice to say we have the ticket in place. We need to figure out what the torture is going to be.
Okay. All right.
He has already said he is not willing to play the wiffle ball bat game, and frankly, I do not blame him.
Last year, we did several torture tickets at the beginning of the season. Those kind of faded away after several weeks of the season. But I'm trying to think, what were some of the things that we did in torture tickets? I
had to eat the hottest chicken from Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack.
Yep, you had to eat some It's not called Mount St. Hell No anymore. What?
I don't remember what it's called now.
Yeah. You had to eat the insane chicken from Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack.
Burn your taste buds out of your head.
You also had to eat crawfish from the Crab du Jour place.
And I'm sure they cooked it lovely.
Oh, they were awesome.
Oh,
they were so good.
I am not a mud bug connoisseur.
No, and Jeremy's on the other side of the desk just hacking. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, I will eat all of your leftovers because they were delicious.
People keep trying to get at my hair. My hair cannot. We're not going hair for hair here.
Yeah, no.
The grand mullet shall stay in place.
It wouldn't be fair either because Kevin's got short hair.
Correct.
And he grew a mullet and shaved it. So
Captain obviously saying I should have to eat fish sticks. That is
fish sticks are a good one.
Also the one that has been brought up many times that somebody should have to go downtown wearing a shirt that says free hugs.
Yes.
That's my own personal hell.
I think that has to be Jeremy.
That's
Actually, I like that one. I like that one a lot.
That's my own personal nightmare.
Because Jeremy's not a touchy person.
No.
They do not touch
No.
me. Jeremy could be crying his eyeballs out. Just.
You lost me at me crying, but.
Okay. God forbid something happened to your mom. You would cry at that.
Correct.
Okay, so you're crying and you go, I really want to help you, brother, but
I would still be like,
no. No, he just pushes you away.
No.
I remember one day we were in the studio. He was having a really tough day. I don't remember what it was that had him so upset, but he was just beside himself. I've never seen Jeremy this upset in our, 5 years of doing this together. And I went, I'd hug you right now, but I don't want to get punched in the face.
Yeah, just no.
He's just not into it.
No, I'm not a touchy
Just not
person.
into the personal affection. So yeah, the free hugs thing that could work out very well. Well.
That would be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, no, that's completely ridiculous. The
doing it
fact
downtown
that Carolina is a favorite against Cleveland, I don't know where you're coming from on that one.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Wow. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get in on the comments. You can get in right now. Give us your best torture ticket for Jeremy Greene and Kevin Vick as they will go head-to-head Week 1 with Carolina Panthers taking on the Cleveland Browns.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingles, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
You ever feel like when you're at work, everything you say sounds like this because you're completely unstimulated and you don't care?
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and passionate about, you sound like you're alive and loving every moment of it. Then maybe you should try podcasting with Spreaker from iHeart. It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, and start your voyage from ugh to woo!
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The truly calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back in the Sportsocracy inside the Ingles Studio. We are always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices. Love the savings, and Adam Black had a great suggestion for the torture ticket between our very own Jeremy Greene and our very own Kevin Vick, who the bell is named after. The Kevin Vick Memorial Bell, founding member of the House of Reprehensibles, as they're going head-to-head on Cleveland and Carolina in Week 1 of the NFL season. And Adam Black says the loser has to panhandle for charity, of course, and the winner gets to make their sign.
That would be evil if and when I win. Because my sign, I am a stand-up comedian, so my sign is going to be both offensive and probably aggressively vulgar. So I don't know that I would agree to that if I were Kevin Vick. I'm totally down. Okay. I have no fear. I don't care what you said.
Okay. All right. Panhandling for charity, that's on the table. Vic says he's not wild about the free hugs idea in downtown Asheville, so I think that's got to be the front runner right now, because it's got to be something that both of you don't want to do.
I adamantly do not want to do that, and everybody wants to seem to force me to do it, which makes me want to do it even less.
Pennywise in the YouTube comments says Cleveland could win that game by 2 touchdowns, and I think that's being generous to the Carolina Panthers.
That's the first line that I looked at and went, uh-oh. You missed that one by a hair.
I get that Jacoby Brissett's not going to be playing in that game.
Deshaun Watson. Jacoby Brissett will be playing in that game.
Yes. So Deshaun Watson will not be playing. Jacoby Brissett will be. I get it. But that's still a talented team. It's like
Here's the other. For me, the conversation begins and ends at one point. Your offensive line has struggled all preseason long. There has been no continuity whatsoever. And Week 1, you get to line up against Myles Garrett. Welcome to the NFL, Ike Mekwonu.
And you're also playing a quarterback that you know pretty well. That defense knows him pretty well.
Oh, and I'm going to keep saying this, and I want it known that I put this out there. Carolina, you do not want this chip on his shoulder. I have seen how this ends. It led to bad Baker trying to force everything he did. I mean, look, the receiving core in Carolina now, I would argue, is one of the top 8 in the league, and that's without you having a tight end. You don't have a living, breathing tight end in this league, and I would still argue you're in the top 10 of weapons in the NFL. That's how little I believe in Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield versus the Cleveland Browns. It's a great story. It's a good storyline, but it ain't going to go your way. At least I don't know. I almost at the bet my house on it kind of level with that one.
Other news and notes from around the league. O.J. Howard, he's going to get another shot.
Okay.
Apparently with the Cincinnati Bengals.
How many tight ends do they need?
Well, I mean, you've only got 2. It's just Hayden Hurst, Drew Sample.
And Devin Asiasi.
Oh,
they picked him up.
Yeah, he won't last long.
He was picked up on the waivers. And O.J. Howard now getting a chance with the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, man.
I mean, he will genuinely have no ability to say, well, I never had a quarterback. Because you've gone from Tom Brady to Josh Allen to Joe Burrow.
Oh, no doubt.
So when you flame out of this league, you can't say, "Man, I wish I'd played with a good quarterback."
Right. You
might have played with the three best ones in the NFL.
Absolutely. Any other big pickups happening?
Sony Michel to the Los Angeles Chargers, which is the weirdest story I've seen because he went in this morning with the intention of signing. Then a report comes out of, nope, not signing him. And then their official Twitter said, we just signed Sony Michel.
Okay.
Could you make up your mind, please?
Well, that's good for Sony. I feel like, he should not be one of those that's left out in the cold.
And Josh Gordon visiting with the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
How many teams have to play this game before they go, oh, yeah, you're not any good?
Yeah, but they need help at wide receiver. So
not that bad. Not that bad. They don't.
He's not one of the guys that you still go, he's got a lot of talent.
Nope.
And maybe.
No, he had. You're using that tense wrong. He had a lot of talent.
Okay.
I always love.
All the way? What?
I always love. So Taylor Bisciotti put this out. That Josh Gordon's visiting the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
I always love when people say his name because they always follow it with who led the NFL in receiving yards. In 2013. That was 9 full years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, he has roughly 100 more catches than I do.
It's the only thing you got to go to.
I'll never anybody else.
What would you
I don't
rather,
care who it is.
What would
Anybody
you rather say, long embattled wide receiver Josh Gordon, who served, 87 game suspensions for weed? No. You're not going that route. Obviously, you're going to bring up the best thing he ever did. Because after that one season, we all thought, this dude's he's like the second coming.
He's Matt Foley. He is one more release from living in a van down by the river.
But it'll be a really nice van. Because he does have a lot of NFL
It will
money.
probably be Gardner Minshew's van that he sold after he lived in it this offseason. Looks like something Josh Gordon would really be a fan of.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. When we come back for the break, it's time to get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a good looking stretch of weather underway here for early September. A nice little drop to the humidity out there tonight. Feeling good as we say goodbye to August. 57 degrees in the valley and even some low 50s with elevation, so cooler than average for a change here. Sunshine Thursday, 84 degrees and 50s and 60s again for tomorrow night. Clouds do increase into the holiday weekend with some splash and dash storms Sunday and Labor Day Monday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Total Wine and More. Imagine you just visited TotalWine.com and found your favorite Cabernet at the lowest price. And with their incredible selection and expert guides, you even found yourself a new favorite. Always love what you find at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
The Night Race. It's as American as Uncle Sam deadlifting 350 while drinking a Busch Light outside his camper in a national park. It's as American as Earnhardt rattling Terry's cage. It's the Bass Pro Shops Night Race at Bristol Motor Speedway. And it's a cutoff race in the NASCAR playoffs. You remember what happened last year, right? Be there September 17th. Go to BristolMotorspeedway.com and get your tickets before they're gone. Can I get a hell yeah?
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer, a big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at TrackPhone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Castrol Edge Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every tank. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Black Mountain, get ready to rock. Dark City Rockfest, presented by Elite Events and Promotions, is coming to Silverados Saturday, September 17th, starring Saving Abel. $20 in advance, 25-day of show, and a portion of the proceeds will go to United Way, Dark City Rockfest with Saving Abel. Saturday, September 17th at silveradoswnc.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. And I wanted to bring this up earlier in the week, but, you know, a lot going on in life. As Tom Brady said, when you're in your 40s, you got a lot of going on and you forget things. The one guy that I wanted to make fun of most from the weekend was Desmond Howard. Did you see Desmond Howard's picks?
I did.
On the game day show?
Insane.
They're absolutely insane. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen a professional sports broadcaster go on national television and put himself out there like that. Ever. I mean, the last time I could think of it was when y'all got Le'Veon Bell and Mike Greenberg went on his morning show saying, "Oh my God, we're going to go 12-4 this year."
Yeah, that didn't happen.
No. It didn't even come close to that.
Nope.
But on the game day show, they were all, of course, the panelists making all of their college football playoff picks to kick off week 0. And, you know, while everybody in the nation has Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State and Clemson, and I've seen some Notre Dames thrown in there, those are usually the 5 teams that are reserved for the college football playoff picks. Desmond Howard had none of them in his.
Nope.
His playoff bracket consists of Texas A&M, Pittsburgh, Baylor, and Michigan. Who's shocked that Desmond Howard had Michigan in the Final Four again?
I will say, I don't know that you'll ever see somebody's Final Four bracket go to hell in a handbasket quicker than this.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
when my fighting West Virginia Mountaineers take down Pittsburgh tomorrow night.
Oh, man.
To the place I belong.
He just can't help himself.
I can't help it.
I mean, there are positives, obviously, for all of these teams. They're second-tier teams, though, all of them. None of them will make the college football playoff, in my opinion. I don't think Texas A&M has much of a shot of being the team that come out of the SEC. I don't think the ACC, if it's going to be a team, it'll be Clemson.
Correct.
If it's not Clemson, it'll be the same representative in the college football playoff that the ACC had last year.
Air.
Yes, exactly. Pittsburgh, probably not going to repeat as champions. I mean, I look at this and I go, what are you doing like the college football playoff of the most surprising defenses in college football? Because I think that's the only category that they all belong to. Of like, you may be underselling all of these teams by their defense.
Later in this here program, we will give you a few of our sleepers for the college football season. I noticed one. Brian Haynes and I did the morning show this morning. That will be a weekly staple, 9:30 every Wednesday morning. And I noticed a couple. And maybe Vegas is sleeping on a little more aggressively than they should be.
All right. I don't know how drunk Desmond Howard had to get before the production meeting for the college game day. on week 0.
Somewhere between Charlie Sheen and Gary Busey.
Bingo.
I think that's Nick Nolte. I think we decided this one time that that's the tier. Charlie Sheen, Nick Nolte, Gary Busey.
Now, I will give him this, though. If any of these teams make the college football playoff, he can at least claim to have known something the rest of us did
Well,
not.
the only problem is that when the other 3 have 4 losses apiece, doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo has been in the news this week. Restructures his deal, coming back to the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
He also has a deal on the table that would be rather lucrative. I'm not revealing the name of the entity because I know why you did this, but it's still funny. An adult website has extended a $5 million offer to Jimmy Garoppolo.
$5 million?
To serve as their chief content officer. I cannot read much of the letter that they put out because it is full of, how do I say this nicely, double entendres. But they basically said that you have an affinity for adult film people.
Yeah.
Because you dated
a
one.
porn star. Yeah.
And they said, while you're riding the pine in San Francisco, we will offer you $5 million to do a show and to determine who should be highlighted on our website.
To do a show. What kind of a show? Like a locker room show?
No,
Like
it's basically it's a.
Was this week in adult films on podcast?
That's what it sounds like they're asking him to do. They also said that they would require him to watch at least 4 hours of film per week, which is both a shot at Kyler Murray and funny as it could possibly be.
Funny.
When you do things that are this funny, I'm going to give them credence. However, I'm not going to say the name of the entity because, well, I know why you did this.
You got to watch 4 hours of film every week.
I'm just throwing this out there. I would do that job for way less money. I know I'm not as famous as Jimmy Garoppolo. I am certainly not as good looking, but throwing my name in the ring.
I would never make it through 4 hours of film.
There's no less than 7 jokes to make right there. I don't think I can make any of them, so let's move on.
Oh, it is the Sportsocracy, and we've got LIV back in the news. Cam Smith, he's gone.
I am dumbfounded at how poorly the PGA Tour is handling this.
Okay.
So they came out with this plan, right, that they're going to do international events.
Yep.
The purses are going to be up to $25 million. We'll put our best guys in it. Yeah. How long did that last?
Not long.
5 minutes. But it's already been tabled. Not going to do it. You know why? Because the PGA Tour cannot compete in this by throwing dollars at it. You can't. If you're going to try to beat them monetarily, you stand 0 shot. And I'm going to ask this because I am a golf guy. I am a purist. I have watched golf for many, 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 many years when nobody watched it. What is your take on this? You are the lay, passive golf fan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you view anybody differently today than you did 6 months ago?
You mean anybody who's
Any entity.
jumped,
It could be the PGA. It could be the guys that have jumped. It could be the guys that haven't.
No, I don't.
And that is where I think this is. Because if you remember when this first came up, there was just fury all over the place. Oh, you're taking Saudi money, blah, 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 blah. Well, they weathered that storm because they said, okay, so why is it okay for you to take their money?
Right.
Then you try to come along and say, well, you know, we'll throw out some purses too. Oh, wait, we don't have that kind of money. And away went your 29-year-old Open champion. Away went all kinds of players on your tour. And what do you have now? What exactly do you have now?
I mean, you have names.
You have Tiger Woods, who is 9,000 years old in athletic terms. Will never be competitive again. Might have one more tournament in him before it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
And Rory.
Yep.
Loud Rory McIlroy.
And a whole bunch of dudes who don't really move the needle. Scotty Scheffler and Xander Schauffele, and while they're good golfers, while they're great golfers, they don't draw. I've always felt like the PGA was a stodgy organization that was going to run itself into the ground if it could ever be challenged. And here we have somebody challenging them, and they've done exactly what I thought they were going to do.
You've lost 30 guys that are in the top 100 of the world golf rankings, and yet you still call yourself the premier. We are the premier golf association. How does that look when you have to come out and go, well, we're going to table those big money events? That's not going to happen.
But you know how the PGA looks at this. They go, you can't touch us because we're still the biggest game in town.
But they're not. They're not. I'm just telling you they're not. Now, talent-wise, they're beating you. They have more of the names than you do. I also want to just point out, have you happened to look at so the President's Cup is 3 weeks from now. Quail Hollow. I'm really, really hoping that I'm going to be there. Have you looked at the international team?
No.
I guarantee you don't know who half those guys are. You can get the U.S. right now at the low, low price to win this outright at minus 1,500. That's higher than Mike Tyson was in his heyday in a one-on-one. And this is where you're at because you took the principle of, we can't do any of those things. In one day, you have told the LIV guys not to wear branded merchandise at the BMW PGA Championship next month. Well, they can't stop you. And it's in their contract that they have to wear LIV branded stuff in any event they play outside of the tour. So how does that look from the outside? You look like the stodgy old organization that cannot get with the times. And so now you're trying to fight them with short purse strings, and you're the group that looks out of touch.
But what does it matter to the audience is my question. Is it going to matter that the LIV has more of the names? Obviously, it might be more fun to watch if they have all of these major winners that aren't playing on the PGA Tour anymore. But for years, it's always been golf is bigger than the person. I mean, unless we're talking about Tiger.
It's not, though. It's not. And it's so hard because golf does not have that corner of the market. And what I'm seeing with the PGA Tour is exactly what I told you years ago was happening with baseball. The average American sports fan cannot tell you 10 players in Major League Baseball right now. You go Mike Judge. That was the guy that did Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, it was.
Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and then it gets thin. Did you ever think that was going to happen? 20 years ago, little tanker, the baseball fan, did you ever think the day that was coming where the average fan had 5 baseball players?
No.
You're getting close to doing that in golf. You're getting close to this. If you're going to just shun them and you keep making a big deal about these things and you keep making this a story, you're getting to that point. Because they don't care about the money. And I started looking at this differently when
Who doesn't care about the money?
The LIV. They could care less. This is coming out of a bottomless slush fund. They're trying to prove a point. And if it loses money for 5 years, it's fine. Maybe it'll make some on the backside. We're proving a point. We got Greg Norman. He's 70 years old. He's trying to prove a point. We got Phil, who's 52. He's trying to prove a point. And you're clinging on to 35-year-old Rory McIlroy, or 32 or however old he is, and Tiger Woods. That's your claim to fame. And Scotty Scheffler, who the average sports fan could be sitting at a restaurant across from him and would not know who he was. Congratulations. This is going well for you.
Nice. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Who's going to win? Who is going to win? Is it going to be the LIV? Is it going to be the PGA? Or is there no winner in this situation?
I don't think LIV can lose. It's very hard to – this was a line in a movie. I just can't think of what the line is. Hard to beat a guy that's not scared to die. They're not scared for this to die. Yeah. They'll throw the money at it. They'll just make more.
The PGA's stance has already been rejected when it comes to the majors, at least for now.
Because they know. You can't gut the field and expect this to still do the same number, which is what they want. They want growth year over year. How many sports are actually growing year over year right now?
One.
It's the NFL at end of message, repeat the line.
Yes.
And that's what I feel like LIV is looking at this from the right perspective of we need a corner of the market. We need our 150,000 people to watch us on YouTube, and that's fine for us. We can make the money. We can do it with the sponsors. We can do all of the things. The PGA wants to continue to grow from where it was. How are you going to lose half of your best players and still grow? Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So at some point, you have to actually start carrying through with these things that you say instead of just idly saying it and hoping we'll forget. But much in the vein of baseball, if you stick to your guns in the era we live in, you will die away like the dodo bird.
ESPN Asheville, and it's time for something to chew on with our good friend Caleb Peak.
It'll be Jason Gingell out of the hold of Mesco. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is blocked. Appalachian State has stunned the college football world, one of the greatest upsets in sports history. Blocked by Corey Lynch.
It's week 1 in college football. Tune-up week, walk-through week, cupcake week, if you will. Yeah, that's what Michigan thought too in 2007. This is Chew on That, brought to you by Ingles Markets, low prices, love the savings. I'm Caleb Peak, and with an interesting twist to the opening week for most teams, 2 of North Carolina's premier football programs will begin their seasons on the road against a pair of familiar group of 5 foes. UNC at Appalachian State, North Carolina State at East Carolina. Both are high noon kickoffs. Greenville will be a little warmer than Boone, but it's still summertime in the South, no matter where you are. And both of the big brothers have something to prove, especially since one of them isn't really favored to win. At least on paper, the more tantalizing of the two is Carolina at Happy Happy. And the Tar Heels' Week 0 matchup with Florida A&M did everything to highlight not just Drake May's capabilities, but also the defensive inabilities. That's quality game film the Mountaineers have studied religiously in the build-up to this game. Because with the right game plan, App State isn't just capable of winning this game. This is a prime chance to further emphasize their legitimacy as a true top-tier football team. I mean, the circumstances of this series alone should be enough to make App State see red. A 2-for-1 contract with the Mountaineers visiting Kenan Stadium twice just to get Carolina to Boone once. Now, when I worked in sales, the 2-for-1 deal could be useful to lock down a high-end client. But you had to be sure that when everything was said and done and all obligations have been fulfilled, you were going to get yours too. And you better believe that App State is getting theirs as a result of this deal. Reason 1, Kidd Brewer Stadium is expecting a record crowd on Saturday, which would break the existing mark of 35,126 set back in 2017 when Wake Forest came up the mountain. Not for nothing, Kidd Brewer only has 30,000 seats. And 5 years ago, every last one of them got their money's worth. The tables got turned on App State when the Demon Deacs blocked a potential game-winning field goal to survive 20-19 and improve to 4-0. Talk about sweet irony. But more importantly, number 2, Appalachian State, with a win on Saturday, would win this 2-for-1 series outright. Remember September 2019 when this matchup was supposed to be a rust removal game ahead of UNC's showdown with number 1 Clemson? Then I'm sure you remember how Sam Howell's 323-yard, 3-touchdown day got derailed by App State tailback Darrington Evans and his trifecta of touchdowns on 78 total rushing yards as the Mountaineers stole the series opener 34-31 in front of a capacity crowd. Fast forward to 2022, and notice that while the quarterback situation is still pretty good in Chapel Hill, it's gotten markedly better for the black and gold. Chase Bryce, you know, the Clemson turned Duke turned App State signal caller, this level of competition is no stranger to him. And if he's able to pick apart an unproven secondary wearing Carolina blue, history isn't going to forget that. If you're Appalachian State, The time is right to bet on yourself, because with Vegas taking Carolina by 1.5 points, you aren't much of an underdog, and you've got everything to prove. Meanwhile, in Greenville, at least East Carolina can say they got to open their season at home. It's a feat in and of itself getting NC State to visit Rowdy Downey Ficklin Stadium. But this could be the worst possible year for it to happen. Number 13, NC State is ranked preseason for the first time since 2003, and it's the highest they've found themselves in the rankings since 1973. Dave Doran has survived all the early calls for his head to build a formidable football program, and a win against Clemson in Week 5 would turn the whispers that the Wolfpack should be candidates for the CFP into more of a dull roar. But first, you've got to focus on the task at hand, getting through a well-trained, well-coached ECU squad under the watchful eye of Mike Houston, who, by the way, has a knack for knocking off Power 5 programs dating back to his days at James Madison. Regardless, NC State is the superior program here. The task at hand isn't so much beating East Carolina, but beating them soundly enough to convince the rest of the football world that Raleigh, North Carolina isn't just a hotbed for hoops and the Hurricanes. Winning by a touchdown isn't going to cut the mustard. Neither is winning by 2 scores. NC State needs to pour it on early, play without mercy, and plunder any hope the Pirates have by the halftime horn. Or else those pesky, nagging questions are going to prevail. Winning over the hearts and minds of the playoff committee is a season-long process. But again, that gets much easier after you knock off Clemson. And it's only possible if you stay undefeated after that. But it all starts with winning the games you should win and winning them decisively. Carolina and NC State are both in the spotlight this week for very different reasons, but both are on a very similar mission: to prove the doubters wrong. And to quote the late, great Robin Williams and Dead Poet Society, in this endeavor, laziness will not do. I'm Caleb Peak. That's something to chew on.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
When it comes to losing weight and getting healthier, there is one name that I now trust above all others, and it's Dr. Ashley Lucas. The PhD weight loss program has helped me lose more than 85 pounds since Thanksgiving. The numbers speak for themselves. The PhD team has helped me through the process with the guidance of Dr. Ashley Lucas, who is the owner and founder, and now she has a new title, best-selling author. Her new book, 5 Steps to Reset the Scale, is a bestseller on Amazon. PhD is helping me collapse the visceral fat that has been holding me back all these years. And I'm also learning how to break the addictions that I have with food. PhD provides me with 80% of the food that I need to have success on the program. And at under 210 pounds, it has opened up a whole new world to me. Get Dr. Ashley Lucas's book, 5 Steps to Reset the Scale, at myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's Tuscola at Irwin. The non-conference season continues for both teams as Tuscola looks to get revenge for last year's loss to the Warriors. The Mountaineers have started the season 2-0. Irwin got a big win over Mountain Heritage last week. Can they keep the momentum rolling? We get things started at 6 o'clock with Sports Tank Friday. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show is at 6:30 and the kickoff at 7. The best coverage of high school football is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
And let's keep getting those sign-ups for the battle for the belt. You want to be Beer City's best fantasy football player as crowned by the Sportsocracy. You want to be able to show that off all year long as well with the custom-made Sportsocracy Fantasy Championship belt. And
we've had a slew of Stevens. We've had 3 Stevens sign up on Patreon today.
Nice.
This is the last day. If you want to get in through Patreon, this is the last day. That will freeze at about 10 o'clock tonight.
Mm-hmm.
People keep doing it, so I'm like, right, I'm not going to hit the button just in case. So if you want to get in through Patreon, you will have to do that by sometime tonight. I would do it right now.
Yep.
Or at least in the next few hours.
Yep. Patreon.com/thesportsocracy. You can get in on the battle for the belt there. If you are just joining us, welcome into the Sportsocracy. We are the Democratic Republic of Sports, and we appreciate your ears and your eyeballs on the YouTube stream. But, yeah, I mean, if you want to get in on this thing, you want to help out charity, because the proceeds from this will not be coming to us. It will not be going into our pockets. We don't have this giant overhead of secretaries to pay and all of this.
Nope. All of the prizes were donated from our wonderful sponsors.
Yes.
The only overhead is we have is with the belt. And I'm going to be honest, it was quite a deal because, well, I know the guy.
Your $20 donation will be then handed over to Eblin Charities and their St. Nicholas project that helps kids around our area be able to have something to open on Christmas morning. They've been helping needy families in our area for years and years, and we want to make sure that this continues to grow. So by all means, get in on it as soon as possible. The season is fast approaching. September the 9th is the final day that we can take sign-ups, but you want to get in on this, like I said, as soon as you can.
Best ball signups will be going out on the social medias tonight, as well as the DraftKings invitation to Week 1.
Indeed. Play fantasy football with us. Play against us. See if you can take down Flostradamus Jeremy Greene to take home the belt.
You don't want me to possess this thing. I'm egotistical enough as it is.
And the over $1,000 prize pack that we have put together with our sponsors, gift cards from Amazon and WNC Auto Detailing. We'll have Ingles gift cards up for grabs for people.
Twisted Laurel.
Twisted Laurel also on that list. So we're continuing to grow the prize pack, and we want everybody to get involved. So go to thesportsocracy.com. You can find the link there. You can find it in the link of the description. The link is in the description of the YouTube video.
Mouth words, memory times.
I always do that. And, get it signed up on Patreon today, the last day for that. In the next hour, Jeremy's going to do his best to tick you off the 25 most overrated players in the NFL.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a good looking stretch of weather underway here for early September. Nice little drop to the humidity out there tonight. Feeling good as we say goodbye to August. 57 degrees in the valley. And even some low 50s with elevation, so cooler than average for a change here. Sunshine Thursday, 84 degrees and 50s and 60s again for tomorrow night. Clouds do increase into the holiday weekend with some splash and dash storms Sunday and Labor Day Monday. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has everything for school at prices that won't hold you back. One subject notebooks are 35 cents each. Plus, during the backpack clearance event, save up to 50% on select backpacks, lunch bags, and water bottles. In-store only. Offer ends 9/3. Limit 30 on notebooks. Send your kids forward to school at Staples.
Galaxy Z Fold 4 is here to change the way you get things done. Now you can browse social media while tuning into a video call. And with the expansive foldable screen, you can use up to 3 apps at the same time. Visit Samsung.com today to order your Galaxy Z Fold 4.
Okay, everyone gather around. I have some exciting
Running her shoe factory, Kendra talks the talk and walks the walk.
We're switching to green energy.
She needs a biotech consultant to erase her carbon footprint.
All operations will net zero emissions.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Serena Spotlight in prime time at the U.S. Open tonight. Serena Williams takes on Annette Kontaveit in a second-round matchup. Serena certainly can win tonight and keep her chance at a 24th Grand Slam championship alive, believes ESPN tennis analyst Brad Gilbert.
And she's gotten better every day in practice, looked very good in her last match, and I expect her to even play better tonight because I think she'll be freer playing number 2 in the world instead of number 80 in the world.
Coverage of Serena's second-round match at the U.S. Open, 7 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. NFL, the Eagles traded receiver Jalen Reagor, a 2020 first-round pick, to the Vikings for a 2023 seventh-rounder and a 2024 conditional fourth-rounder. Chargers signed running back Sony Michel, released by the Dolphins earlier this week. He became the Super Bowl champion Rams starter late last season. Orioles promoted top infield prospect Gunnar Henderson to the majors as they continue their playoff push. He was recently ranked as baseball's number 2 prospect overall by ESPN. The 21-year-old Henderson will be eligible to play in the postseason.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And we are live, as always, in the Ingles Studio. Ingles Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene alongside, as always, on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can take us with you everywhere you go. You can also see us everywhere you go on your smartphone.
Also brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Just for going in there with your car, they will give you $250 extra on your trade-in for saying that you heard about them from us. You're our friends. They're our friends. We want to introduce the two of you. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, 629 Brevard Road. Tell them we sent you.
Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel so you can get the alert whenever we go live, because the season is fast approaching, and Lord knows when we will be live. I mean, we'll always tell you before we're going to do it. We'll give you a little heads up, but we tend to do watch-alongs and live reaction videos and all that kind of stuff throughout the season, plus fantasy football updates. We'll have your Sunday morning get 'em ready, start 'em, sit 'em show, as we do each and every year.
We will have a live fantasy morning show, uncensored, with myself and armchair commentary, our favorite Canadian, David Smith, and the weekly uncensored show with the dude himself, Brian Haynes.
Yes,
which was this morning. You can see that on the YouTube channel as we speak
at 9:30 live every Wednesday morning, and of course you can watch it whenever you get a chance. If you're busy at 9:30 on a Wednesday morning, then you can go back and watch it any time. Thesportsocracy.com. Also in the description of the YouTube videos where you find the link to the Battle for the Belt. You want to get in on that, be named Beer City's best fantasy football player this year. $20 donation that goes to Eblin Charity's St. Nicholas Project is all that it costs, and you could be a thousandaire. A little more than a thousandaire.
Correct. In lovely prizes from our wonderful sponsors.
Yes, indeed. All right, so the NFL Top 100 list came out over the week, or the final stages of it came out over the past weekend. Tom Brady was number one. We talked about yesterday some of the guys who were too high on the list. Trayvon Diggs was definitely one that was in the top 25 that should not have been. And that gave Jeremy the idea of putting together the most overrated NFL players list. He went with the top 25, and over the next hour, he is going to tick every one of you off.
Specifically, if you pull for about 4 teams. One of them has a star on their helmet.
Dallas Cowboys spotted throughout the list here, but let's get into it. At number 25, the 25th most overrated player in the NFL, to Jeremy Greene, is Eddie Jackson of the Chicago Bears.
He has kind of a Trayvon Diggs thing to him. Yes, he makes wonderful game-changing plays. He also gets burnt a lot, like a whole lot. And that's been with Khalil Mack and a slew of other talented players in front of him in the front seven. And he doesn't have that now.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I have always said, safeties dupe more regular fans than any other position. There are a couple more on this list. One that may or may not have played for my team, and we highway robbed another team when we traded him to them.
Yes.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. People just have this mythos with him that he's a top 3 safety in the NFL, and he's just not.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, he's just not. And that's one prevailing thought of this list. I'm not saying these guys aren't good. They're just overrated.
Well, and it's also, when you see a guy that is as young as Eddie Jackson and he's already made a couple of Pro Bowls, safety's not a premier position in the NFL. We talk about this time and time again. And it's also not, if you went to the average fan and said, can you make a list of the top 5 safeties in the NFL, they would go Derwin James, Jamal Adams,
Marcus Williams.
But I'm saying at that
highest
point,
paid.
But at that point, I think the average fan starts to go, I don't really know any other names of safeties. And so when you have a guy like Eddie Jackson who has made the Pro Bowl, he has been an all-star, quote unquote.
He's a beneficiary of the SportsCenter age. A lot of people do not watch down in, down out.
No.
Especially if it's not their team.
Mm-hmm.
They really pay attention to their team. They'll catch highlights of everything else. You see Eddie Jackson on SportsCenter and you go, oh, it's obviously a great player. He is. He's fine. He's just not elite, which a lot of people think he is.
At number 24, most overrated.
This is going to upset people.
Oh, the Triple Crowner himself.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Be really honest with yourself. Does he work on every team in the NFL?
No.
Would he have put up a stat line like that playing for the Seattle Seahawks?
No.
Or the Atlanta Falcons?
No.
And that's why he's on this list. Because you put him up there with the Jamar Chases. I don't care where Jamar Chase plays. I don't care where Justin Jefferson plays. I don't care where Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, on and on and on and on. I don't care where they play. I care where Cooper Kupp plays.
Mm-hmm.
Not telling you. This is so in my note when I built this list. Cooper Kupp is a lot more Hunter Renfrow than he is Jamar Chase.
Yes.
And I don't think it's even debatable. He is a great beneficiary if he has the greatest offensive mind in the NFL on his sideline and has a really prodigious offense.
And it's hard to believe that a guy who just won the Super Bowl MVP, a guy who just set all kinds of records, is overrated. I get it.
Not saying he's bad. just doesn't necessarily belong in the class. But he had the most yards in the NFL. Okay, would he have done that with Marcus Mariota?
16 touchdowns, though.
If you put him with Kirk Cousins, does he look more like Adam Thielen or Justin Jefferson? That's what I thought.
Do you think the hype would be as big on him were he playing anywhere other than Los Angeles?
Yeah, well, no, I can't say other than Los Angeles. Yeah, if he played for the Chargers, he'd be in the same boat. If he played for the Cincinnati Bengals, he'd be in the same boat. If he played for the Minnesota Vikings, not so sure of that. Not so sure he would be a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
Right.
I also think that's a fantasy football thing. People care about their fantasy football leagues. They see him put up crazy numbers. They go, he's obviously one of the best in the league. No, he's good. He's a top 10-ish receiver in the NFL.
But on pure talent
alone. But he's not a superstar.
Yeah, pure talent alone, he's not a superstar.
In our YouTube comments, people are trying to guess who are going to be in the top 5, and let's just say they're doing a pretty good job of hitting those.
Number 23, it's Frank Clark.
I laugh at Frank Clark every time that name gets brought up. He gets put on the backside of premier pass rusher, and he has been that exactly twice in his entire career. And he's a beneficiary of who he has played around. He is paid like a superstar. He does not play like a superstar. Not bad, grossly overpaid. But, I mean, ask yourself this. If he's that great of a pass rusher, then why do they struggle to get to the quarterback so bad? Kansas City has had a slew of times where they could not dust a quarterback. Okay, so you have an elite pass rusher and arguably top 3 defensive tackle in the NFL. I know how good Chris Jones is because I've seen him do it without Frank Clark. I don't think Frank Clark's what he is played out to be.
And has he not been as good as he was in Seattle with Kansas City because he gets overshadowed by Chris Jones?
I just think he's a good NFL pass rusher. There's nothing special about him. Special pass rushers work anywhere. The Bosa brothers. I don't care what team you play for. You will be very, very, very good. Trey Hendrickson. I made fun of that signing when Cincinnati signed him. He went to Cincinnati, and he was a dominant pass rusher.
Von Miller,
same thing. Hasn't mattered where he was. Been a prodigious pass rusher everywhere he's been.
He's done it in Denver. He's done it in L.A., and now he's about to do it for the Buffalo Bills. At number 22, Byron Jones.
Byron Jones is a great name, and he is a freak athlete. He is not nearly as good as he is played out to be. I understand he set the world record in the long jump at the combine. I get it. Freak of nature, not somebody I would want to meet in a dark alley. But you're not that great of a cover corner, and you have been bailed out by having Xavier Howard on the opposite side of you for quite some time. I long said, when he came out, I said he's more of a safety than he is anything. And I still maintain that. You have to play off. You are not a get in somebody's face, one-on-one, shut somebody down. And you're one of the 10 highest paid corners in the league.
But it's one of the reasons that Xavier Howard, especially, what was that, 2 years ago, when he put up 12 interceptions or whatever it was in the season? Is that because quarterbacks know that they're not going to test Byron Jones?
God, no. Good Lord, no. Especially not now. Now he's the one they look for because Javon Holland is a phenomenal safety.
He is.
And Xavier Howard's one of the best corners in the league. So where am I going to throw at? Byron Jones. That's fine. I'm not overly worried about it.
All right, number 21, Mac Jones. We knew it wouldn't take
this
long.
Was coming. Well, and I'll be honest with you, as low as he is, I feel like I'm being rather nice here.
Well, to have him at 21, I think it's because he's only been in the league for a year. And there's only so much propping up that can be done on a guy in 1 year. I mean, the fact that he made the NFL top 100 warrants being on this list.
No doubt. Ask yourself this. Where does he fall in terms of talent among quarterbacks in the NFL? If you say a number above 15, I'm going to literally say you need to check yourself into a mental hospital. because you are out of your mind. Is he better than Kirk Cousins? No, and it's not even close. Is he better than Derek Carr? No, and it's not even close. He is a phenomenal game manager. I think he is insanely smart. But he's about as athletic as a box of Kleenexes, and at some point that's going to come back to bite you.
He doesn't have the standout arm.
No.
You know, the top 10 arm in the league.
He is Chad Pennington with a better franchise.
Okay. All right, there you have it. Mac Jones, Byron Jones, Frank Clark, Cooper Kupp, Eddie Jackson. That's your first 5. We'll get into the top 20 most overrated up next here in the Sportsocracy.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow in 240 westbound near Patton Avenue. An accident reported here. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road. Delays. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road. Light delays. Hendersonville Road moving well. Boulevard Road no backups. Long Shoals Road moving well. And Airport Road incident free. On the Charlotte Highway, no problems. Tunnel Road moving well. And Swannanoa River Road, no backups. I'm Lee Binfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small businesses create bold signs to make big impressions. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 10/1. Visit staples.com/thisisyoursign for details. This is your sign to print big at Staples.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
Back here on ESPN Asheville in the Ingles Studio, and we continue with the most overrated players in the NFL, the top 25, as written and devised by our own Jeremy Greene. We've given you the first 5, now getting into the top 20. And This one I don't really like, but I'm also going at it from, remember when we did the most overrated bands bracket?
Yes.
And we talked about, can you really be overrated if you're not highly rated to begin with?
This guy's higher rated than you think.
DeAndre Swift, the running back from the Detroit Lions.
There are people that think he's a top 10 running back in the NFL.
Okay. All right. I was unaware that those people existed. Hell, I'm a Georgia fan, and I don't believe
Fantasy football. That's what sways the number on him. And look, I'm not saying he's a bad player.
Mm-hmm.
But I had somebody tell me the other day he was better than Saquon Barkley, and I almost piddled in my pants. Because that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because the one knock on Saquon is he can't stay healthy. Neither can DeAndre Swift.
Right. He has not played a full season yet in his NFL career. He's been in the league for 2 seasons, and he's played 13 games each season.
He will be a stat accumulator. At the end of the day, at the end of the year, you will look at his stat line and go, well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that offense is really good, and that offensive line is very good.
I just don't know. This might be unfortunate timing for you to have him on the overrated list when this year could be the big breakout where we do talk about him in that
fun question.
Top 10 area.
We talked about this fantasy football marathon on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Who had more rushing attempts last year for the Detroit Lions, DeAndre Swift or Jamal Williams?
Jamal.
Yeah, by 3. End of message. Repeat the line.
And you think that continues this year?
I do.
Okay. DeAndre can do more things. He'll be used as the pass-catching back.
And he's a very good pass catcher.
Of course he is.
I'm not sure how great of an actual between-the-tackles running back he is.
Mm-hmm. He's very shifty, especially when he gets into open field. But it's earning the tough yardage. That's why it was perfect when he was at Georgia. It was him and Nick Chubb.
And Nick Chubb can do that. I'm going to be honest with you. If there were 26 spots on this list, Nick Chubb would have been 26.
Really?
I looked at that name no less than 10 times and went, you're not.
No, he's not.
He doesn't. And that's what is it, that term you always use? 3-dimensional chess.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to watch the tape on him to go, oh, yeah, you're a very decisive runner. You provide virtually nothing else. And that's fine. There's a role for that in the NFL, and as long as you got Kareem Hunt, that's hunky-dunky. But if you're ever asked to do more than that, you will see what I'm talking about.
DeAndre Swift at number 20 on the most overrated players in the NFL list. Here we have our first Tampa Bay Buccaneer on the list. I'm sure it won't be the last.
It will not be.
Carlton Davis.
He's scheme-specific. He's now one of the highest-paid corners in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not that good. He's a top 30 corner in the NFL.
30? Okay.
If you remember when free agency started, my Jets were just throwing money around like they were printing it. Stay away from Carlton Davis. No. And I was very happy when he went back to your team.
Mm-hmm. I do remember you being against the thought of Carlton Davis going to your team.
You're a Buccaneer fan. Answer this question. When you line up against a true number 1 receiver, do you look at it and go, well, we have Carlton Davis, so I'm not scared?
No.
Okay, well, he's paid like he should be.
He is. And I feel like you were in a position where you had to do that. You had to pay him or you were going to lose him, and it was better to have him and pay him than to not have him and have him go somewhere else. But this is because he doesn't have as many interceptions.
No, he's just very scheme-specific. He's fine for that defense. I don't think he's a superstar by any stretch, but he's thought of that way. I hear people talk about him like, well, half of that defense is shut down because they got Carlton Davis. I have never looked at that way.
No, there is zero part of the Tampa Bay secondary that is shut down. Everybody's afraid to go that way. No, they're not. Carlton Davis was the best of the bunch, and that's why he got paid.
Adam Black in our YouTube comments said, Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Swift, and Saquon Barkley are my running backs in my main fantasy league. See how strong my prayer life is. The resident reverend of the Sportsocracy, who we just adore.
He's going to have to pray that there's not a lot of time missed on that roster. Yikes. That's putting a lot of eggs in some very fragile baskets. Number 18, Miles Sanders, running back for the Philadelphia Eagles.
How many times do you have to Charlie Brown yourself with a running back before you go, maybe you're just not actually that good?
All of them. All of the times.
But you're still in on him, aren't you?
I am still in on him.
He's my third running back in my biggest fantasy league, and that gives me hives when I think about it.
I've always felt that he's a good running back. He can do all of the things. He can run between the tackles. He can catch out of the backfield. Following Saquon Barkley at Penn State, I still feel like was the worst thing that could ever happen.
He is very fragile, and 2 coaching staffs have looked at him and gone, I don't really trust you with a full workload. And I don't trust you inside the 10-yard line at all. Mm-hmm. That kind of tells me everything I need to know.
Is it fumbling issues? Is that why they don't trust him?
Inconsistency. I to be honest with you, I really don't know. Because it's not that he's not even been bad with the opportunities that were given. His yards per carry leave a lot to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's untalented. But when 2 coaching staffs look at you and go, nope, we get to the 5 and we're bringing in a hammer. Okay.
But you said yards per carry. Where's your line on that? Because, I'm just looking at his stats, and 5.5 yards a carry is pretty good.
Yeah, but you have to go deeper on that. Takeaway, and I can't remember exactly how this – I don't remember what the term is. You take away the top 10%, the bottom 10%, and he goes from 5.5 to like 3.7.
Mm-hmm.
The good is good. The bad is horrendous.
Right. He can break some big ones, but – is he an elite running back in this league? No.
It's not a bell curve. It's some kind of graph where you take away the outliers and you just go to what the bulk of this actually is, and it's not nearly as good.
Yeah, Miles Sanders is a guy that I still believe in, and I'm going to continue to. This is the last time, though. This is the last year.
Say he's your Devontae Parker.
He is my Devontae Parker.
There you go.
At number 17, Deebo Samuel. How has he become your favorite punching bag lately?
He's not my favorite punching bag. I'm just so tired of hearing him put with players that he does not belong with. The idea that he is an elite receiver in this league, no, he is not. He is a very good weapon. He's a very good running back that plays wide receiver. He's very good with the ball in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
He's also made of popsicle sticks and is not really a great receiver.
Because he's always dinged up.
He's dinged up a lot. I don't view him that way. And which is funny because now I loved him forever.
Mm-hmm.
And now people have gone absolutely nanners on him, and I'm Seacrest out.
He went over 1,400 yards last year, had 6 touchdowns, and they only think he's going to get better.
Oh, I get it. I just don't agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's had the best year he will have in his career.
Wow. Okay. Who's gonna take the shine off of him this year?
In terms of playmakers
in San Francisco, yeah.
Brandon Ayuk.
You think this is his breakout year?
I love Brandon Ayuk.
All right. I don't know about better than – I don't disagree with you.
I didn't say he was better than Deebo Samuel. I said you were virtually the only weapon on this team for an extended period of time because Kittle was hurt and Ayuk was ineffective.
Mm-hmm. At number 16, Hunter Henry.
What does he actually do?
Scores touchdowns.
And that's it. So basically he's a wish version of Dawson Knox.
Is he not better than Dawson?
No, he's not. He never stays healthy. The stat I saw on him earlier, if you boil his career down to games that he actually played, he averages a little over 3 catches a game
mm-hmm.
and something in the neighborhood of 34 yards a game. And yet people talk about him as a top 10 tight end in the league. And, oh, by the way, he couldn't block me. I'm not sure he could block you.
Nah, he could.
Good point. I'm pretty sure HWA could block you, so that's not really a line of demarcation.
Ouch. No, he was one of those guys that popped onto the scene as a rookie. We talk about rookie tight ends all the time. Never, never, never trust a rookie tight end. He's one that was the exception to that rule.
And he's never been that good again.
I mean, last year. Scored more touchdowns last year.
Woo.
Had more yards.
And how many yards was that exactly?
600.
Woohoo! Elite.
But there's something to be said for a go-to red zone threat, right?
And I'm not sure that he's actually that. He's no doubt the best one that New England has. Devontae Parker's on line one. He would like to discuss that.
Well, we haven't seen that yet.
That's the point. Has he ever played with a legitimate red zone threat? No.
Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen is 6 foot tall. A legitimate, okay, let me say this a different way. A legitimate big-bodied receiver. Or has he been the biggest receiver on every team he's ever played on, and that inflates him?
Yeah. I would say that's accurate. All right, we'll get into the top 15 of the most overrated list coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, the Gilligan stretch of weather underway here for early September. Nice little drop to the humidity out there tonight. Feeling good as we say goodbye to August. 57 degrees in the valley and even some low 50s with elevation, so cooler than average for a change here. Sunshine Thursday, 84 degrees and 50s and 60s again for tomorrow night. Clouds do increase into the holiday weekend with some splash and dash storms Sunday and Labor Day Monday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound in Haywood County near the Tennessee state line. An accident. Right lane is closed prior to Fines Creek Road. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road delays. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road delays. Hendersonville Road moving incident free. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Summer is winding down, but business needs keep ramping up. Check out Indeed, the all-in-one hiring solution that helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You ever feel like when you're at work, everything you say sounds like this because you're completely unstimulated and you don't care?
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and passionate about, you sound like you're alive and loving every moment of it. Then maybe you should try podcasting with Spreaker from iHeart. It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, and start your voyage from ugh to woo!
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Thursday night on Fox.
Here we go.
One of the nation's most historic programs looks to light up prime time.
I'm coming for number one. I'm coming for number one.
Sean Clifford leads the Nittany Lions.
Wow, touchdown!
In an electrifying Big Ten matchup against Aiden O'Connell and the Boilermakers.
Are you kidding me? It's going down.
Penn State, Purdue. Coverage begins Thursday night at 7 Eastern on Fox. Sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
Black Mountain, get ready to rock. Dark City Rock Fest, presented by Elite Events and Promotions, is coming to Silverados Saturday, September 17th, starring Saving Abel. $20 in advance, 25-day of show, and a portion of the proceeds will go to United Way, Dark City Rock Fest with Saving Abel. Saturday, September 17th at SilveradosWNC.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank.
With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Oh, well, there seems to be an ongoing problem in the state of Iowa, and I don't know how to find the solution for this. Maps work, though, and communication between the generations also, I think, could be the answer to solve this problem. So there's a small town in northwest Iowa called Sheldon. Sheldon has been around since 1872. And this weekend, they are kicking off their anniversary, their 150th anniversary festivities. And they plan to have a big old community breakfast. Everybody shows up, has breakfast and some coffee, and we'll just enjoy being our little old, northwestern corner of Iowa. They had one specific event planned, though, that has hit a bit of a snag. They want to dig up a time capsule that was buried at their 100th anniversary shindig that they threw 50 years ago. The problem is they don't know where it's buried.
It's kind of important.
It is kind of important. So the Chamber of Commerce Director Ashley Nordahl says, we would really like to do this as planned, but we don't really know where it is. And the thought of tearing up a public park and all the concrete that's there to try to find it during, the 150th kickoff breakfast, probably not the best of ideas. So rather than track down someone who was there at the 100th anniversary party or whatever, I'm pretty sure, I don't know for a fact, but I got to imagine there's got to be somebody around that town that knows where they buried it. But apparently they haven't been able to find that person. So they're bringing in a company that will do laser
in-ground sonar.
Yeah. They'll do the sonar stuff to try to find out where the time capsule is buried. And then we'll have to put it off to a later date. The other kicker to this story is that the same thing happened in another Iowa city last year when they tried to do theirs. They buried a time capsule.
Maybe put a marker on it.
Right.
Put a marker on it.
Right. Like here in Asheville, we had the big time capsule that was buried put in the base of the monument downtown that's no longer there. The ex-Vance Monument. They knew where it was, and we could open it. It also made me think back to elementary school. Have you ever participated in one of these things?
No.
We did this in elementary school. And I remember putting an Alf stuffed animal in the time capsule. God knows whatever happened to that thing. I should have kept it. It's probably worth $100 at least today.
This is, my story is proof positive of the difference between me and you. You're talking about a wholesome problem in Iowa where we can't find our time capsules. I'm talking about a much less wholesome problem that happens on airplanes. A recent Southwest Airlines flight on its way to Cabo, Mexico, was almost taken back to the gate because passengers were airdropping nefarious pictures of themselves to other people's phones. A passenger recorded this and shared it on TikTok. The pilot had to say, so here's the deal. If this continues while we're on the ground, I'm going to have to pull back to the gate. Everybody's going to have to get off. We're going to have to get security involved, and vacation is going to be ruined.
Almost straight up turn this car around.
So you folks, whatever that airdrop thing is, which I heard in your voice for some reason, quit sending naked pictures and let's get ourselves to Cabo.
Nice.
I fly quite a bit. If I ever heard this on an airplane, they would have to remove me because I would laugh so hysterically. And I would cause a scene going, who's doing it? Who is sending the dirty pictures?
No, you'd be standing up going, why are y'all not sending these to my phone?
Why do I not have an iPhone? No, it's much like a nude beach. It's never the one you want it to be.
Right. And airdropping is sending involuntarily pictures or media files of some kind to everybody who has an iPhone.
Basically, yes.
Okay, all right.
Now, they have to click on it. That's what's always made me laugh about this. All right, as long as you don't have both phones, the other person has to do their part to receive this too.
Well, yeah, but does it just show up as, whatever screen name, or does it show your actual name?
Yeah,
like
it says,
they send you a message.
It says whatever your phone's name is wants to send you a...
I got a message from some stranger. Let's see what it is. I mean, you're not supposed to do that?
No, You're the guy that fell for those scams of, there's a prince that has billions of dollars and
Look,
he needs to unlock it by
He told me he loved me, and he told me that I would be his queen.
You do strike me as the kind of person that would fall for a scam rather easily.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Back into the top 25 list here. Most overrated players in the NFL, as written by our own Jeremy Greene.
I'm sure this name kind of surprised you.
A little bit.
Because this was one that I was on, and I still like him.
I mean, you have another list that was named after this guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was also a third-round pick.
Chase Claypool is number 15, most overrated player in the NFL. Why?
Where does he rank on his own team? In terms of receivers, where is he on his own team?
2.
He's 3. And it's not really all that close.
3?
He's behind George Pickens.
Okay.
And people still value him to be and he's a good deep threat. He just doesn't really provide an all-around receiver. That's not what he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was a great hit for me.
George Pickens has done that much in the preseason.
George
to
Pickens.
vault him
The
above
hype
Chase
around
Claypool.
George Pickens in Pittsburgh is insane. I don't disagree with it, if I was being honest with you. But there is a belief that he is the next great Steeler receiver.
Okay.
And it kind of made you re-examine Chase Claypool, but a lot of people haven't. They still see him in that 25 to 30 among best receivers in the league, and he's just not.
Mm-hmm. Number 14, another wide receiver. This one vastly more overrated than Chase Claypool. It's Tyreek Hill.
I have a funny feeling that you're going to see quite quickly that Tyreek Hill is not an overall receiver, much like I said about Chase Claypool. Now, he is a drastically better player.
Mm-hmm.
He's another one that people put him in that Justin Jefferson, really? Like, was that a joke, or did you actually mean that?
But where do you have him?
Among receivers in the NFL, about 15.
Really?
He doesn't run routes particularly well. He's very, very fast, and he has pretty good hands.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, is he drastically better than Jalen Waddle?
No.
No, but people think he is.
Mm-hmm.
Take him away from Travis Kelce, take him away from Pat Mahomes, and watch the drop-off happen.
Mm-hmm. Some people think that he is going to be the reason that the Miami Dolphins win a Super Bowl. And I don't see it. I really don't even think he's going to be the best wide receiver on his own team this year.
I think they're the same guy. I look at Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill very much the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think Jalen Waddle's a better route runner.
I think Jalen Waddle will be the one at the end of the year, statistically speaking.
And he very well could
and
be.
Maybe it's because, all of the number one coverage is going to go to Tyreek Hill.
He lined up very well with Patrick Mahomes. Their games intertwined very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
I am not so sure that's going to happen with Tua.
Another wide receiver coming in at number 13. This one from the Cleveland Browns, former Dallas Cowboy. So we counting that toward the Dallas Cowboys?
I think it should,
mark?
because the last game he played in the NFL was with the Dallas Cowboys.
Amari Cooper.
What does he really do well? Like, really do well. He came into the league. He was a great route runner, had great hands. Then he went through about a 3-year period where he could not play dead in the Western on the road. It was one of the most unbelievable splits you will ever see.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just got to this point of, I mean, you're fine, but there are Cleveland Brown fans that actually think he is a legitimate, no doubt one in this league. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree.
I feel like he would be a one on about half the teams.
Horribly inconsistent. Horribly inconsistent. And now you're a one, and there's nobody else that really scares you. So what do you think is going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a guy that you think is going to routinely beat double coverage? No. He is a good, not great receiver.
Okay. Amari Cooper at number 13. At number 12,
you knew this guy was going to be on this list.
Of course he was, and he would be on my list as well. Jeremy said, I got one of your books on this list, and you're not going to agree with me. And I looked at it, and I went, nope, I completely agree with you. Number 12, Leonard Fournette.
He is the Sasquatch of the NFL. You hear how great he is all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on a fuzzy film, and then it goes away. And nobody can really verify it. You and I used to go in circles when he was in Jacksonville that he was this great pass catcher. No, he is not. Do not let stats fool you. Stats don't care about your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fantasy football line.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of real-life NFL football, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure Rachaad White's not the best running back on your roster.
Maybe.
And there is a reason that when he became a free agent, the rest of the league went, no, we're good. You should go back to Tampa.
Right.
New England kicked the tires on it. How long did that last?
He's always had a bit, the bit of a head case narrative around him.
And it fits very well.
Of course it does. Of course it does. But he's also supremely talented.
Is he, though?
I mean, I believe so.
He was in college. He's one of the greatest college running backs of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's always just kind of been hype. There's been a lot of hype and not a lot of substance.
Okay. All right. How about number 11 on the list? Matthew Stafford.
He would have been a year ago on the most underrated list. Now he wins one Super Bowl, and you would swear he is Dan Marino all of a sudden. I don't get it. So you go to the most talented team in the NFL. You lead that team to a Super Bowl after they had just been to one a few years ago with Jared Goff. And now all of a sudden I'm supposed to believe you're an elite quarterback in this league? You're a very good quarterback with a very big arm. And people seem to forget you had a propensity to lose close games for many, 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 many years. But he didn't have talent in Detroit. He had one of the 5 greatest receivers that ever played this game. I don't know how people forget that, but they seem to.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. The top 10 most overrated up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slows 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County 40 westbound near the Tennessee state line. An accident has the right lane closed prior to Fines Creek Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road. Delays. Hendersonville Road, moving incident-free. Overlook Road, no backups. Check of the drive time from West Asheville to Biltmore Village via Meadow Road. Drive time 12 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Summer is winding down, but business needs keep ramping up. Check out Indeed, the all-in-one hiring solution that helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sound experiment. We're looking to find the perfect way to hear Reese's so you'll buy more of them. Here we go. Reese's. 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 Reese's.
Reese's. Hey, get out of here, you little stinker. Reese's.
Reese's. Reese's.
Peanut Butter Cups. That breathy one sounded very creepy, am I right?
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Castrol Edge Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every tank. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Roots and wings, the two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
Told me I could be a princess. That's all I'm saying. We are down to the top 10 of the most overrated players in the NFL, as written by Jeremy Greene at number 10. Bradley Chubb.
I don't understand what people see in him. You had one good year. Other than that, you have been hurt and ineffective. Almost half of his sacks came in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And now, well, we've got Randy Gregory next to him, who's learning a new position. That should be fun.
Still going to be interesting to see, though.
Interesting to see, sure. But is he an elite pass rusher? No. And there are people that believe he is.
Okay. Number 9, Odell Beckham Jr.
So let me get this straight. You only work in a very specific window, but you're in the NFL Top 100.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even kind of get that. He's just got that diva head case thing. He's very loud without a lot of pop.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when everything's good, he's fantastic.
That's great.
The problem is that only happens about 25% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we have long talked about him re-upping in L.A. And, all right, well, now you got Allen Robinson. You still got Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he worked with no Robert Woods. It was him and it was Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure that works when you add another piece in there. And what happens if he comes back to L.A. and now his target share is half of what it was before?
Then he starts talking.
Do you get loud?
Right. As he does. Everywhere. It happened in New York. It happened in Cleveland. And the more time goes on, it's going to happen with L.A. if that's where he ends up going. At number 8, Kyler Murray.
Oh, 4'7" of him. I just feel like the league figured him out. And this is another one that fantasy football props him up.
Mm-hmm.
You score a lot of points for my fantasy team, which means you have to be a great quarterback. Is he, though?
I mean, I'd still say he's top half of the league. I mean,
top half of the league for a guy that was the number 1 pick in the draft and just got an absolute bag.
Mm-hmm.
Do you put him in the Aaron Rodgers category?
Hell no.
Okay, then you're grossly overrated.
And no one should.
Do you? All right, I'll take it one step further. Do you put him in the Lamar Jackson category?
No.
No.
Next tier.
Next tier.
down.
That's fine. That's fine.
Which means Lamar better get more than $160 million guaranteed. Number 7, Jamal Adams.
Love Jamal Adams. Thank you for Elijah Vera Tucker and Garrett Wilson. He's a linebacker. That's what nobody wants to talk about with him. He's a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good blitzing linebacker. He is god-awful in coverage the vast majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's another one. In a very specific setup, he's very good. You take him out of that even a little bit, and he becomes an afterthought. How many times did you watch Seattle football last year and forget he was on the field?
0, because that's how much Seattle football I watched last year.
Well, there's also that.
Right, exactly. Jamal Adams, supremely overrated. Hell of a pass rusher, as you said. James Conner comes in at number 6. I feel like you're just cheating now.
How?
Now you're just going all Arizona Cardinals. You were so hot on that train, and now you've gone so sour that now all of their players are overrated.
There are people that think he is an elite running back in this league. He scored a bunch of touchdowns. Yeah, Peyton Hillis did one time too.
Mm-hmm.
That does not make him good. There's a lot of overreaction year over year. The most recent thing we've seen is the way that everything is. And I just feel like a lot of people are forgetting. Do you not remember how this ended in Pittsburgh? Do you really not think that's who he actually is and last year was the aberration?
Oh, I do. Top 5 now. It's Dallas Cowboy time.
Oh, yeah, if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm going to anger you very quickly.
At number 5, none other than Trayvon Diggs, Mr. 11 interceptions himself.
If you had a car and you had to go to work 25 days out of the month, and for 4 of those, it started up and ran great. It was the coziest ride ever. It was just the lap of luxury. And it caught on fire 2 of the days a month. You had a flat tire 5 of them. That a good car?
No.
There you go. It's Trayvon Diggs in a nutshell. The good is great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I can't throw dirt on him yet and say he's never going to be an elite corner. He's still earning the position. But this idea that he's one of the best players in the NFL is just flat out stupid. I mean, what it screams to me is, do you actually watch these games? Yes or no? Because I spent more time watching film on him last year where he's just turned around going, man, I hope that safety sees him. Because if not, this is going to look really, really, really bad.
But that's not what we care about as football fans. What we care about is stats. We care about turnovers and highlight plays. And he had more of them last year than anybody else. And so they go, obviously, he has to be one of the best in the league. Number 4, Jadeveon Clowney.
Very good run-stuffing defensive end.
Yes, he is.
He is way more Foley Fatukasi than he is Myles Garrett. He is one of the biggest names that plays defensive end in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Has he ever been that? For even a minute?
I don't guess.
No.
I mean,
even when he was on the opposite side of J.J. Watt, he was still not a prodigious pass rusher. Now, I think he fits in Cleveland just fine. He's a very good player. He gets mentioned exponentially more than he should. He's a run-stuffing defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Jackson back in the day.
And he has
That's
lived,
exactly who. Derek Barnett.
He has lived off of that pop in the Outback Bowl for how many years now? A decade.
It's more money was made. And now, look, he was the number 1 player in that draft regardless.
Oh, of course.
But that's the thing we remember.
Mm-hmm.
And it has saved him from a lot of criticism that he deserved.
At number 3, well, you'll just have to wait and see. We got 3 more to go. We'll give them to you in the next hour here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a good looking stretch of weather underway here for early September. Nice little drop to the humidity out there tonight. Feeling good as we say goodbye to August. 57 degrees in the valley and even some low 50s with elevation, so cooler than average for a change here. Sunshine Thursday, 84 degrees and 50s and 60s again for tomorrow night. Clouds do increase into the holiday weekend with some splash and dash storms Sunday and Labor Day Monday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slows 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County 40 westbound near the Tennessee state line. An accident has the right lane closed prior to Fines Creek Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road. Delays. Hendersonville Road, moving incident-free. Overlook Road, no backups. Check of the drive time from West Asheville to Biltmore Village via Meadow Road. Drive time 12 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. The brand new Galaxy Z Flip 4 is here. Capture hands-free content from every angle with Flex Mode. The sleek foldable design lets you make your device conveniently compact. Visit Samsung.com to order your Galaxy Z Flip 4 today.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. All eyes again on Serena Williams tonight at the U.S. Open for her second-round match in her final tournament before retiring. The 23-time Grand Slam champion faces the 2-seed, Annette Kontaveit. Based on what she showed in her opening match, Serena could certainly win tonight and extend her run at the U.S. Open, according to ESPN tennis analyst Mary Jo Fernandez.
I'm really impressed with how hard she's worked to try to finish on the best note possible. I mean, that was the best match we've seen her since starting her comeback at Wimbledon.
Easily.
Yes, she was much sharper. Her serve was firing. She had, I think, 9 aces in the match. Her movement got better.
Coverage of Serena's match is at 7 Eastern on ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Baseball White Sox manager Tony La Russa out indefinitely with an unspecified medical issue. Bench coach Miguel Cairo will manage on an interim basis while La Russa undergoes testing. The Orioles promoted top infield prospect Gunnar Henderson to the majors as they continue their push for a postseason spot. The 21-year-old will become the youngest Baltimore player to make his big league debut since Manny Machado a decade ago. He'll be eligible to play in the postseason.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Max, I know you got some issues with your eye.
Yeah.
You need to go get your brain checked next.
Do you understand genius is never understood?
More from TJ and Max Thursday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword music to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's music to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It's the final hour of the program here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are the Sportsocracy, the Democratic Republic of Sports, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. Don't forget that the YouTube stream is the way that you can get in touch with the program immediately. And all you got to do is subscribe to the channel to do that. You can also join the House of Reprehensibles. You can follow the link in the description of this video and every video that we've done for the last couple of weeks to get in on the battle for the belt, be Beer City's best fantasy football player.
And we have a new entrant into that. Clarence Ingle has joined the battle for the belt.
Oh, Binky.
We have a ton of people in this.
Yes.
Sign-ups will be up on the social medias after the show to log in your time for your best ball draft, and the link for DraftKings will be out as well.
It is going to be a whole lot of fun playing fantasy football against each other all season long, but it's also going to be for a great cause. $20 is the entry, and that will be donated to Eblin Charity's St. Nicholas Project. This is the project that helps put Christmas presents under the tree for needy families at the Christmas season. And yes, we are big supporters of making children smile. So join us in the effort and be Beer City's best fantasy football player. You'll not only, if you win, get the custom belt, like wrestling-style championship belt that we're having made, but also there is a prize pack that continues to grow practically by the day that is worth over $1,000 right now, and it is only going to get better. So get in on the contest now. Let's finish off before we get into today's daily draft, where Jeremy and I will pit our wits against each other to try to come up with the definitive list of the worst owners in sports. But let's finish off the most overrated players in the NFL. We have worked our way to the top 3. And nobody's going to be surprised.
I don't think there's a surprise on this list because I bash all 3 of these guys routinely.
You do. At number 3, a guy who I expected to be number 1 on the list.
Oh, no, he couldn't be number 1.
It's Dak Prescott.
What exactly does he do well? He's been behind one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He had one of the best run games in the NFL. And he had, I would say, very high-end weapons for quite some time. What did that lead to? Put up a lot of stats.
Mm-hmm.
Man, your stats were fantastic. Did you win a lot?
No, not really.
It's kind of the mark of a great quarterback. You're paid like a great quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You're treated like a great quarterback. But I don't see it.
You just don't see it. Like,
what is really the difference between Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins?
Well, Dak's a little mobile.
Bit woo. Woohoo.
Harder to game plan against?
I don't know that I agree with you.
Really?
I really don't. You're thought of as an elite quarterback. All right, let's see what you look like with mediocre weapons, which you have now. A mediocre run game. I'm going to be nice because I do like Tony Pollard.
Mm-hmm.
And a mediocre offensive line. Good luck with that.
Has not been able to get his team far since he's been the quarterback. Yeah, they've had 2 great seasons, I'll say 1 great season, 2 okay seasons. But you've never lived up to the hype that you're supposed to be anyway as the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
He's a very good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Good. In my opinion, there's nothing elite about him.
I'm still waiting to see who they're going to add to their wide receiver room.
Well, they brought back Cooper Rush and Will Greer, so all of the gnashing of teeth can stop.
Oh, they cut all their quarterbacks. Yeah, because the other quarterbacks nobody else wants. Those guys are back on the practice squad now, and they need to add him another weapon this year. Don't know if it's going to happen, but maybe Josh Gordon wants to come to the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, they've got Jason Peters visiting, so all of your problems are solved.
There you go. At number 2, Hollywood Brown.
You're very fast.
Mm-hmm.
You're also incredibly inconsistent. And I always thought he benefited from having a hyper-mobile quarterback. You never could put that safety over the top because you were terrified of what Lamar would do.
Mm-hmm.
What happens now? All right, so you got Kyler Murray.
Now you have Kyler.
Okay, I'm not nearly as scared of Kyler as I am of Lamar Jackson because the way you game plan them is completely different. You send pressure at Kyler up the middle. You tried to contain Lamar and try to make him run through the middle. Slightly different. I don't have to send blitzers at Kyler Murray. I had to at Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think – plus the line's not nearly as good. So the chances of him being able to just sit back there and let you do that one thing you do particularly well are not high.
Yeah.
Now, when you get DeAndre Hopkins back, you'll have some good games. I still don't see you as – to me, the fact that you gave up a first-round pick for him is comically stupid.
And at number 1.
That's who it was always going to be.
The NFL's most overrated player, according to Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene, is Ezekiel Elliott.
Is he even good at this point?
He's good.
Is he?
He's not great. He's not rolling off 100-yard games every week.
Do you know how many 100-yard games he had last year? Played in every game.
1?
2.
Had
a $110 against the Giants and had 143 yards against the Carolina Panthers. That was in week 4 and 5 of last year.
And then he got dinged up.
Never broke 90 yards again.
Mm-hmm.
Only broke 50 a handful of times, 4 times, 5 times. That's not a good NFL running back. Routinely averaged 1.8, 2.8, 2.9 yards a carry. That line's not perfect. He's not been good. And this has been happening for years. I had somebody ask me the other day, where can I safely take Ezekiel Elliott? The 10th round.
The 10th?
In a fantasy football draft. He's not even on my board. I could care less.
Really?
You can let him fall until the end of time. I do not care. I will not touch him.
It comes a point, though, where the chance that he's going to have a bounce-back season is worth something, isn't it?
Not to me. He's a 27-year-old running back with a lot of tread off the tires that now has none of the advantages he had in the past.
That he is.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Elijah Mitchell or Ezekiel Elliott?
Elijah Mitchell, not close.
Not close. Well, that's the 25th best running back in fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
So not close. Means he's in the 30s at best. And you're one of the most expensive running backs in the league.
Yeah, see that.
From now on, paying running backs, that's the Ezekiel Elliott rule. We don't do it because we saw how it ended.
And depending on what happens with Christian McCaffrey, his name's going to be right there next to him.
Well, with McCaffrey, you at least do multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke's a decent receiver. He's a decent blocker. Christian McCaffrey's at least elite at both of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the merit of him. At this point, you are done like dinner. And you have been for 2 years, and nobody wanted to talk about it.
Right.
If every star in the sky lines up, you become a serviceable NFL running back. He's the Devontae Parker of running backs.
Okay. All right. There you have it. There is the top 25 of Jeremy's overrated list. From number 1, Ezekiel Elliott. We had 3 Cowboys in the top 5 with Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, and Trayvon Diggs, all the way down to Eddie Jackson of the Chicago Bears, 1 through 25. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll take a quick break, and then we will get underway with the day's daily draft, always at the